Hey guys, good morning, and welcome back to me, I suppose. Welcome back to the normal. Welcome back to my office. You see, the beautifulness is back. Not that I missed this weekend because I had plenty of coffee there where we were hanging out. It was truly a phenomenal weekend, and again, just sitting here, getting back from everything, having done all the stuff that needed to be done. It's one of those mornings where there's no preparation needed. Yes, I'm back where all the tools are, but it's like I was just saying, just speak. I'm going, what do I speak about? And just trying to take the thoughts that are actually going through my mind this entire weekend. If I listen to all the testimonies people shared, all the stuff, all the breakthroughs that people had, all the stuff that fell off, all the stuff that, you know, just that people just got freed from. And if I think at all the things that the Lord pointed out for me during this weekend, and as I said yesterday morning, to guard your heart. And I have to say it like that because I had a good laugh with one people where I said, guard your heart. And if I said it like that, this person was way too Afrikaans. So they heard God as in not guard, but God. And then not heart as in heart. They heard heart as in the Afrikaans version of hate. So I got a very funny look from them when when I said that. So guard your heart. It was like, what? Listen, wait, I need to hear this. I'm like, okay. And I realized they didn't hear correctly. So that was pretty funny in that. But as the day progressed yesterday after the morning message and stuff, I really did have to guard it because there was an event or two that really got me to a place. And this is something that I feel the Lord needs me to share. It's something that came out in me. And in that moment, I ran to a place because I wanted to say I lost it, if I want to call it that, but I got so angry at this thing that happened. But then I ran straight back to my car where the worship station is. When I got where I have my music and I can drown out this incredible emotion. But I ran straight to God and I said, Lord, why am I so angry? I'm angry about something that I know is stupid to be angry about or get angry over. Yet here I am in front of you asking what's happening. And I spent hours. It was 2 or 3 hours that we had some free time that I just spent there. I was praying, I was moaning, I was complaining. At some point, I know I was sleeping a little bit in between because I really was tired as well. And at some stage, I was just sitting there, just listening and thinking, God, what are we? What is? And through all of this, God eventually pointed out, He said, this is the problem we have over here, Mr. Ru, is that we are building, we are working. There's been phenomenal breakthrough, there's been phenomenal movement, progression of everything that you're doing, of what we are doing here, about what we are shaping. But here is a thing that is stopping phenomenal breakthrough and further proper progress in your life and in the story and in my journey and in that and that thing as a route somewhere. So now the journey becomes, somebody asked me this morning before we left saying, how was the camp for you? What did you learn from it? And I turned to them and all I said was, I've got work to do. And the response was, sure, okay, it was that kind of a weekend, was it? And I was like, yes, it was. And it's truly phenomenal to know because even with that, it got excited. There's something extraordinarily amazing for me when certain people from the Bible gets connected to me, who I am, how my heart is. I've had people speak David's over me and God pointing out David to me because of certain aspects. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen my excited days, and a lot of people know, don't get me started on talking about David because, oh man, oh, there was a guy there. Anyway, and then Peter came around, and over this, especially yesterday, with this whole event and thing that occurred, the story of Jacob came to mind, where Jacob was wrestling with God. And I actually shared it in a moment last night. I said, that's where I feel I am, is wrestling with God about this thing, because I don't need this thing in my life anymore. I don't want it. I don't have to have it. It's stopping me, and it's stopping God from doing things in my life, and I don't want it. So it's literally a case of where I'm feeling I need to wrestle with God and say, let's get rid of this thing. But the more I know I've got to wrestle with God, the more He's trying to get in and show me, listen, but we need to do this or this or this or something. to get rid of this thing over here. And but it's definitely it's a wrestle that I need to wrestle, probably more than myself than with the Lord. But and the other side of it is that wrestle that Jacob did with the Lord over there brought a phenomenal breakthrough in his life, where God changed his name, changed his entire identity. So this gets me excited, because this means I'm on the verge of an extraordinary breakthrough in my life, and I'm excited for it. I have no idea what it is, of course. And on the other hand, I had to share that I really hope that God doesn't break my hip before we finish this wrestling match, because I'd really like to walk and run a little bit normal still for quite some time in my life. I hope, a bit of a joke in there. I'm sure it won't be the case, but we got to laugh along the lines of this. So I guess in all of this, what I want to say to you today is, don't be afraid when things get pointed out in your life. If there's something that you tend to struggle with, I shared that one thing that often happens with me is traffic is a big thing for me, and God is teaching me. He got me in a phase where He's teaching me to enjoy my journey, enjoy driving to my destinations. Don't always be in a rush. And I realized I'm always in a rush when I'm in my car, and I don't need to be. I'm not in a rush to go where I'm going, but I'm always in a rush. And God's teaching me to enjoy the journey, being on the way. And but people that do things on the road get me so worked up. I could be in the middle of the deepest worship, and then one act just does something, and I'm very angry, and I'll be shouting at this. I'll be like, hey, sort of thing. And then I'm just like back, and I'm like, no, but that's not rech. There's something wrong over here. And I've been going with this for a while, and then this weekend happened that pointed this out for me. So if there's something in your life that you are really struggling with like that, something similar perhaps, I can just say, ask God to show it, to pinpoint it. Go sit with Him, cry, complain, sit in complete and utter silence, sleep in His presence, whatever. But dedicate some time and sit, make time. You'll never have time if you never make time. We live in a busy world, John. Yes, I know. I'm also busy, but I make time for the Lord, and everybody, and there's many other people that do as well. People that make a heck of a lot more time for the Lord than I do. But if you never make time, you'll never have time. And the quickest way to make time is pay attention to how much idle time you have. And by idle time, I mean times you spend binge watching series and binge watching movies and binging TikTok and binging Facebook Reels and binging YouTube videos and all this stuff that isn't really of import. I'm not saying completely remove it. You can, if that's how God calls you, if God calls you to do that. But, just pay attention how much. Just lessen it. Do it a half an hour less, an hour less. Spend some time with the Lord. Because that thing that you need to get rid of in your life is a lot more important than that video that'll still be there tomorrow for you to watch. And that's where God had me going. He started me on that, going, that stuff will still be there later. You'll still have time to be allowed a little bit of downtime to watch that stuff, to do this, to do that, whatever. But we need to deal with this thing. And He's pinpointed it now. And now my work starts. And once we get through with it, I'm sure it'll be something that I also have to share, or get to share. Let me rather say I get to share it with you. So I just want to encourage you with that. If there's something in your life that you don't want there, dive into God with it. That's the only place I know how to deal with it and where to deal with it, and get the to pinpoint this thing, get it on the radar, bring it into the light. The big thing is, as long as the enemy is hidden in the darkness, he's having a field day. But as soon as God comes in, like He has with me this weekend, and He brings it into the light, then the stuff starts. I was sitting in church just now, and in a moment of deep ministry and worship, I actually got a very hard pain in my heart, and it actually pointed out that, okay, God's starting to deal with this thing that needs to get out, and it hurts, and it's gonna hurt, but you got to be hands in. It's gonna hurt to get it out, but it's so much better when it's out, because I've dealt with stuff before in life, and it hurts while you're dealing with it, but it is so much more amazing, beautiful, and gone, and freedom, and lighter, and all these beautiful things afterwards as soon as you have dealt with it. So hold on, make time for God, dive into that thing that you don't want. God will show you, and then we'll deal with it. Have a great one. Tomorrow I don't know if we'll be back to normal, but we'll be back tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.